Hi, my name is Steve Eliason, and I serve as the Youth and Discipleship Pastor at the Korean Presbyterian Church of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. I've been in that role since the summer of 2022, although I've had a history with the church since 2006. And interestingly enough, my whole reason for becoming a part of the church was of a split between the English and the Korean ministries. And it seemed like what was going on in that congregation was a cross-cultural conflict. And I'd had to deal with that in my 15 years in the Philippines. So for all of 2006, I filled the pulpit, got to know the English congregation, and did get to know the Korean congregation a little bit. Pastor Cha, Peter Cha, from school, I think. And so he said, you know, they're offering this thing, TICI. And I wonder if your church wouldn't like to be involved. And so, you know, we connected with him and was invited to join the second cohort. And so this is the fourth of the 4 seminars that we've had together. And when I think about, you know, the past 2 years and what it's meant, I guess the thought that had come to my mind about the English ministry and the Korean ministry was, it's like we share the same building. The young people, for the most part, who are in the youth group are children of the people in the Korean ministry. But it seemed like we were working on parallel paths, but rarely connected. So it was like we were 2 churches, although we certainly espoused to only be one. And so I think the biggest thing that TICI did for us was really a reminder that the formula time equals relationship, time together equals relationship, and without that you're not going to really have a relationship. And so, you know, the English and the Korean ministry began to, as part of the assignments to begin with, certainly, have time together. And it was mostly just fellowship. And so we got to know one another as people, not just as someone who attended the same church. And so when I think back on the 2 years, I would say, except for 1 or 2 people in the English ministry, we went from having no relationship with the Korean leaders and congregation to having a number of close relationships. And since we're all supposed to be working together anyway, that makes it a lot easier, because you're going to have conflicts and disagreements in any organization, any church, but when the person becomes a person and not simply a representative, that makes a big difference, especially in a church. And so TICI has done lots of different things in terms of the specific assignments, but I think in terms of the outcome, this is something, this time together, and not talking about just meetings, but time together, serving one another, is something we'll be able to take forward. You know, we won't need an assignment to do it. We recognize the value of it. And so, yeah, we've definitely been positively impacted by the work of TICI.